Hey, hi, hello, and good afternoon. My name is Amanda, and welcome to Harmony Portal Tarot Live. How is everyone this fine Woo Woo Wednesday? Coming at you, bro, from the earlier time slot, whatever we want to call that, because we have baseball tonight. So, yes, that's why I'm here. And we should be keeping to the schedule roughly into the second week of June, if I'm being correct with my dates. I think June 12th is, or around about, is the last day of school. And I'm pretty sure at least Boston goes through that for his baseball, for the tournament and everything. So, yes, we are going to be coming back to the weekly, or Woo Woo Wednesday weekly live stream at 6 p.m. Mountain Time in June, sometime in June. So, for the meantime, it will be at 11 a.m. Mountain Time, as we are right now, 11:01 Mountain Time. So today we are going to be doing a free one card pull for those of you who are interested. All of the subscribers, I think I had set to subscribers only, just to keep the trolls out. Not that we've had a problem with trolls, which is nice. Not like some places on the internet where trolls are just rampant. We're pretty locked down here, so yay. Michelle De Leon, welcome, my dear. Good to see you. It's been a minute. I hope you're doing well. And we have a donation that already came in from Michelle Lynn, or Michelle, as she's known here as her profile. So we got two Michelles in the house. And I did post over on the Done Creative for those that want to get a reading today. Can come on over, baby. So Michelle, or not Michelle, Shania Twain. Got Michelle on the brain. But it's Shania Twain. Hey, that rhymed. I knew that rhymed, that's why I said it. But hey, while I have you here and while we're waiting for everybody, maybe we can do some intention setting with our incense. So let's start. This is rain incense. I just buy it individual by the stick from Rockin' Rudy's, one of my favorite little places here in town. Oh my gosh, I wish you guys, can you smell that? Probably not. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. In the store, I'm like shopping for this. And it's such a pretty teal. Oh, I love it. And I put it up to my husband's nose, and he did not get it. He didn't get the vibe. He's just like, what is that? I'm like, just smell it again and kind of bask in the ambiance of it. Because it takes a second. The first initial smell, you're just like, ooh, what is that? And then you're like, oh, that's what that is. Oh, I like it. It kind of grew on him, but not until he smelled it, like actually as incense burning, lit up. It got lit. Yeah. Sorry, my ADHD is ADHDing today, so bear with me, you guys. But any intention you want to set to clear your energy field of anything that is siphoning, hooking, sealing off your energy, just to cleanse and clear and return any power that is yours, that is being siphoned, sucked, stolen from you in any way, shape, or form. Call that energy back right now because it's yours. And then you can remove out by the roots once you feel intuitively that the energy has been restored to you. We don't want any distortions, so clear any distortions. But that's the thing, when you call your energy back, distortions can come in like, oh yeah, your energy's been returned, even though it hasn't. So make sure, because there's a lot of trickster energy out there right now. You want to protect yourself as much as you can, but also be in your light. Being in your light is a form of protection in and of itself, because for a lot of those entities out there looking for a quick fix, you are not going to be it. You are not going to be it. So yes, any intention you want to set, cleansing, clearing, grounding, centering, shielding, protection, shining your light, calling your energy back, calling your power back in any way, shape, or form, feel free to do that now. And I am going to turn the fan on just to kind of get this circulating, so it's not just stagnant in one spot. We want to get that energy moving. All right, we are on the move with that fan. So usually doesn't take too long once I have the fan on to go through this stick of incense, but I'm going to make sure it's not getting on the floor. It's even with my little incense thing. Anyone else that has these just standard wooden, I don't know if you can see it. I got some old incense on there. I probably should clear that off first. Anyone that has this standard one here have trouble keeping it all on? Like this one did. It stayed on there, but I have others that are just like all over the place. It just gotta make sure it's lined up, I guess. Don't ask me why the garbage can is in the middle of the room. That's Wrigley's problem. Last night was garbage night, so we had to get all the garbage off the road, and he has to do the upstairs garbages, and he put it in the middle of the room for some reason. So at least it made it out of here. Oh, a skeleton arm one. Ooh. And I know there are those that they're kind of more circular, and you put it in the middle so it'll kind of just get in the dish around it, which to me that's the vibe. I think that's what I need to go to next if I'm in the market to replace this soon. I also have one like this, but it's not wood, it's marble. That was a gift. And I think I have an even harder time keeping everything on that because it doesn't have that little indented or kind of how it allows it all to roll to the middle a little bit. It's just flat. So it's really pretty, but it's just flat. All right. Well, I've rambled enough. So what we're going to do is I have the wrong one. Oh, it's right here. So we're going to pull a card from the Harmony Heart Oracle cards, as seen here. And the fun thing about these is you can do reverse. You know, you can shuffle them in reverse because each side of the, or each up or down of the card has a message that's slightly different, but along the same theme for each card. So I will shuffle a few times and just kind of get some reversals or uprights going here. And I think the code today, maybe we'll wait a few minutes. We only have a couple people here. Actually wait till about 7 to 10 minutes just because notification squad getting in here. But they always lie to me about how many people are here because usually I see like 3 or 4 people chatting. It's like, there's one person here. I'm like, I don't know about that. Oh, I can update our list. We have a donation also coming in from Marlene. So we're going to start out with Michelle. And then go into Marlene's also after we're done with all of this. And the donation list is still open. So anyone looking to get a guaranteed reading today, or if your one card pull sparks something for you and you want to know more information, you can always send a donation to get more info on that. So I think Marlene is hey now. Can't remember if there's a space or not. I think it's all one word like that. Okay. So that's our current donation list. And yeah, we have a few more people here now. It's telling me there's 4 people, which seems about like what we've got going on in the chat here. And just intuitively feeling in. We've got a few. There she is. Oh, I capitalized the second hey on your name, but we know who it is. All right. So let's maybe put a 333 in the chat. 333 in the chat. And we will start. And hopefully as we get going here, more people will show up to get their free one card pull if they feel so inclined. Otherwise, we'll just get right into our donation portion. All right. So one more shuffle and reverse. There we go. Okay. Alrighty then. So let's get into Michelle. Hey, LOL. That's funny. All right, for Michelle, or Michelle Lynn, as she used to be called here. Michelle, getting a message in alignment with her true spirit. And we have the responsibility card. It's in reverse here, though. So it says, you may feel overwhelmed by the responsibilities you've taken on, or you're losing sight of your own needs while fulfilling others' expectations. This really does feel very centrally, like themed around, oh, I got hair in my mouth. Themed around work, or just feeling like, I don't even want to deal with this right now. But the responsibility is there. I think what we're going to do, just bonus, we're going to also pull a tarot card because I want more to the story here, and like let's just do this for everybody. How about that? Free little mini read for everybody who wants one. Put a 333 in the chat if you're just joining us. Okay, there, Michelle Lynn, my dear, look at this. There's recognition, especially after some struggle coming in, for how responsible you are, and there's a deserving factor here. So something that you deserve, even if it's not from this job, but you know, another opportunity or something coming in. Of course, we can read more into that later, but there's recognition coming in for the job well done or work that you've put in. I'm seeing very 9 of Pentacles energy, you know, hard work paying off, something along those lines coming in for you very soon. I saw my husband's YouTube live today, and he had 3 views 3 hours ago. Oh my goodness, that's awesome. That's a pretty good turnout for a YouTube live. Heck yeah. And we're lucky to have like 4 people viewing at a time. But hey, I love you guys, so it doesn't matter, you know, quality for quantity. But not saying that your husband doesn't have quality. I'm sure he does. So Michelle De Leon, let's get your message as well. Well, tell him congrats. That's a pretty successful YouTube live. I love it. All right, tuning into Michelle De Leon's lovely spirit. What does she need to know? We have the wealth card. Wealth is not just about money. It represents abundance in all areas of life. You are in a phase of prosperity and contentment. And I just heard health is wealth for you, Michelle De Leon. So there's something to do with your health. It's funny because these are like rocks in a stream, but at first I thought they were like hamburgers or like a chicken sandwich or something. That's kind of what they look like from here. It's like the buns, the buns, and then the patty maybe somewhere in the middle. But I think they're actually like coins. I don't know. It's like, are they rocks in a river because, you know, there's water going around it, or are they coins? I'm rating them as like brioche buns. I mean, to be honest, fast food. Well, I see these cravings. You know, health is wealth. I see these cravings diminishing, or you getting a handle or control over these cravings. So that's a good sign. Health is wealth, but also wealth is wealth, and time is money. Resources are money or wealth. So you're finding new ways to define what does wealthy mean to me? What does success mean to me as well? Hello? The let's bring this money in card, along with the wealth card. There may even be some sort of raise or promotion or just extra income that you were not expecting coming in. And this feels like over the next 2 weeks, Michelle De Leon, like, I'm not mad about this for you. This is awesome. But also I'm seeing with this 9 of Pentacles, willpower. This, you know, your hard work paying off, just saying no to the fast food. I know it's so hard. All the chemicals and stuff they put in it is like addicting. And if you're anything like me, you go get it because, you know, we're in baseball season. So I'm having a lot more of it than I want to be. But like the second I take a few bites and I'm like in the middle of the meal and I'm just like, why'd I do this? Like, this was not a good life choice. Not happy. And it doesn't even taste good. Like half the time. Like maybe the first couple bites, you're like, oh my God, I'm so hungry. This tastes so good. And then like you're partway in and you're like, this tastes like chemicals. This tastes like not as good as if I were to maybe make the same thing at home with my love and care and all the, you know, clean ingredients. Anyone else? Yeah. I think those of us who are, you know, leveling up, it's like when we make these crappy decisions, we either feel like crap like right after or like hours later, you know, digestion process. And we're just like, why did I do this? But yeah, we're feeling it more than people who are just so used to it and stuff that they're just like, oh no, I feel fine. I can eat anything and I feel just fine. And I'm like, how? Oh, I haven't been very healthy. Oh my gosh, hopefully I've been working my butt off. Oh, you got this. Yeah, it makes me feel like crap after. But I love the cheese. I know the cheese is what gets me every time. Yeah, that's what'll do it right there. All right, next we have Hey, aka Marlene. And I guess we're going to shuffle your tarot card first, and then we're going to get the Harmony Heart. Ooh, love. I'm really seeing self-love, but there's something to celebrate coming up. This definitely feels self-love related, but there's something that you're going to be able to celebrate. Anything else? Marlene needs to know in alignment with her true spirit right now. Conflict. Okay. Conflict is inevitable, but through honest communication, you can find a way to resolve issues and strengthen your relationships. And what I'm actually getting is this is like inner conflict or your relationship with yourself, because I was really getting the self-love, self-care vibe, something to celebrate. Maybe you overcoming some limiting beliefs that go directly opposed to what your spirit is asking of you or hoping for you to step into. This definitely feels like you overcoming that conflict of, I just heard conflict resolution of your limiting beliefs. So even though the beliefs may still be there, but you're not like buying into it. You know, that limiting belief will come up in your awareness of your, you know, thoughts or your energy. And you're like, okay, I see you, I hear you, but like, I don't believe you. It's not valid. That just doesn't talk, not talking about me, doesn't track. No thanks. Carry on. This is good news. especially with the limiting beliefs. But if you are having any kind of disagreements, misunderstandings, misalignments with anyone who you consider near and dear to you, I do see you being able to resolve that conflict pretty effortlessly, or just by, feeling with your heart into like, let's resolve this. Like, how do we overcome this? I see that being something you can do very easily just by feeling into your heart space and seeing what needs to be done. All right. And I think that's all we have. I think anyone else, it says we have 4 people here. I've only done 3 readings. So if you're here, put a 333 in the chat. I will pull you some cards. And we're going at least until, we'll keep this open at least the first 20 minutes. Because that's what I said over on, in the description, obviously, and then also over on the Done Creative. The post I made over there is like, first 20 minutes, subscriber only. And that might be some people's thing. If they're coming from that channel, they're not subscribed here, or people keep getting unsubscribed. That happens from time to time. So maybe they're waiting. So we'll give it a few minutes. Maybe we'll just do a little mini collective reading. And I really want to go to the tea leaf oracle for some reason. It just calls to me right now. So if you're here or watching the replay, this can be your reading if you so choose to claim it. Anyone who wants to claim this energy, what do they need to know? And this feels to me like about the next week out is the time frame here. Ooh, family wishes come true with the wishing well. And when the wells dry up, everybody's in trouble, right? But I almost feel this well is full of rushing, clean water that can nourish your crops, nourish your family. Family wishes are coming true. So if you have a wish for your family, or like a long-term goal for your family, or, if it's just you and your pets or your plants or whatever, you and your little family, this wish is about to come true, or you're seeing progress on these wishes here over the next week. And we have ladder climbing towards success. So for someone watching, this could be a family member or someone in your home is getting some sort of recognition, reward, promotion, increase in finances in some way, or just overall health and wealth, very tied together here. Anything else coming through for our little collective mini reading here? With the tiger, doing something risky, taking a chance. And sometimes we have to, especially if we get up there on those rungs, it's kind of almost feels like a risk, because like, what if I slip? What if I fall? But taking a risk, a calculated risk is what I'm hearing, is going to lead to wish fulfillment. Very cool. All right, what else? What else does our little mini collective watching now or on the replay? This one jumped, so we're going to take it. The owl, good advice from a wise person. So be listening, especially if you're asking someone a question. They're going to have some really wise guidance or advice for you. And it's not something coming completely out of left field. This is something that you already know deep down. So it's going to just resonate and be that like almost external validation coming in and be like, yeah, you're on the right track. That's the right move. Make that choice, make that decision. Or even if I'm seeing someone here is just feeling a bit confused, like, what do I even do? Like, I'm just feeling lost right now or stuck. Like, what do I do? Well, let's get advice. If that feels like your energy, if you're feeling stuck or lost or just hangman energy in any kind of scenario you have going on currently, this is your advice and best path forward. What does this person need to know, or people? If multiple of you are feeling that energy, feeling stuck and stagnant. Ooh, you're dealing, or there could be dealings with a younger woman. The advice could even be coming from someone younger than you. Female energy, or if it is a male, they're more in their feminine energy when they give you some advice. But let's just see, as far as advice to be able to move forward, those of you that are feeling stuck or stagnant right now. The horse. Well, a short journey could help clear your head. If you're anything like me back in the day, especially before I had kids or was married, or even dating my husband, my current husband. No, I'm just kidding. Even before we were dating, and that was what, 21 odd years ago now. Yes. Wow, so long ago. Almost married 17 this next month on the 23rd. So wow, time flies. But I would go on like drives during the day, during the night, and it didn't even have to be like I'd have to go somewhere very far. I could just drive around town, because the town I'm in currently is a pretty big town. But I would just put on some music that wasn't like new and exciting music, because then I'm too into the music, but music that felt familiar to me. And I would just drive around and think, or just kind of almost allow my intuition to come forward. as I drive around and just listen to music. Or you could do it silently or just walk around. You don't have to drive if you want to save some coins, save some buckage right now with how expensive everything is. Walking around with or without your music, to just get some intuitive insight or hits. That's the information coming through for how to feel like you can get unstuck. Another thing, feeling tied down or frustrated because you may almost feel like you can't get out of the situation or you're stuck. Again, that stuck energy. You feeling tied down or frustrated. What I'm seeing coming forward as advice is doing an exercise or a meditation or maybe even a journaling, prompt to where you're like, if for some reason, just this moment, the chains were released, the yoke was untied, you were let out of that contract, that relationship, that job, what would you do? If you were no longer stuck, if how you were stuck before is now you're released from that stuck energy, what would you do? Knowing you were already unstuck, what would you do? And just allow your intuition to guide you either through that meditation, that journaling prompt, or just kind of thinking about it, whatever that looks like specifically. Let's get one more. We're going to go the money moves oracle, and then we're going to move on. We just hit the 20-minute mark. We're going to hit the 21-minute mark. So we're just going to move into our donation portion after this. But you guys got a free little one-card pull, well, two-card pull, and a little collective. Hey, Versha, put a 333 in the chat. There you go. Okay, we'll do one more. We're kind of wrapping up a little mini collective reading, just because I was trying to milk it till the 20-minute marks, just in case anyone else wanted a reading. Okay, closed doors. No good job opportunities. The current job is coming to an end. Start all over again. So those that are feeling stuck, or if you're feeling like doors keep slamming in your face, there's a reason, because you are closing the doors on a lot of what's in the past. Like, you don't want to bring that energy, not that you maybe are choosing not to bring that energy, but like energetically speaking, this past energy can't follow you into this new vibration that you found yourself in. So if you are unstuck, it's going to close doors from the past. And it may feel for a moment for some of you like no good opportunities, whether they're jobs, relationships, personal development, whatever it is that you're looking to move forward with. It may feel like, well, where are all these opportunities? They just dried up, vanished. Again, going back to that well analogy, when the well is fully, the water is running in the well, everybody and everything thrives. Something just fell. I don't know what it was. Oh, I think it was one of my astro dice. Oh, we'll use some astro dice. It's trying to say, hey, let's throw some dice. All right, let's do that then. I don't know where my other one is, though. Well, we'll take 2 out of 3. So we'll roll some astro dice here in a moment. I do want to pull one more card, though, because things that look like they have dried up or are not stable or sustainable, I do see change coming. I'm hearing winds of change. All right, one more card for this. Opportunities coming in. What do those that feel stuck right now, in any way, shape, or form, what do they need to know about these dried up opportunities coming back around to where they're having a full opportunity? Okay, loyalty. And I'm hearing where your energy or your attention goes, your energy flows. So what are you being loyal to? Are you being loyal to the thoughts or allowing those thoughts that are very negative, or the content that is doom and gloom? Or are you watching more uplifting content or content that makes you laugh? Or, again, spending time with people who bring you down versus spending time with people who bring you up. Where do your loyalties lie is what I'm hearing. Because where you spend most of your vibrational time, that's what you're going to manifest. So if you're in the doom and gloom in your mind and in your relationships and at work, that's where you're residing. So I'm seeing all these cards fly out. I'm seeing that and if you're catching yourself right in this moment thinking, yeah, oh my gosh, I have been really like fatalistic surrender, like what was me right now? That's okay. I mean, we all get there and have been there and maybe have spent way too much time and don't want to like check out after 11 a.m. when our time is over at the hotel of doom. But that doesn't mean we have to stay stuck there, because remember, pretend, your imagination is your reality creation, is what I'm hearing. So pretend that you are now unstuck. Anything that was blocking you, standing in your way, siphoning your energy, it's all been released and you are free to go. The jail bars have been let go, the door's open, you're free to go. So what are you going to do with your time, your money, your resources, your attention, your effort moving forward? All right. Let's get Versha. We're doing a 2-card poll because you guys know me. I can't help myself. I go above and beyond and overboard most of the time, but it's so fun for me. It's so fun for me. Okay. So we're going to start with the Harmony Heart Oracle cards and then also get a tarot card. And actually, before we do that, let's do the Astro Dice for our collective. I forgot about that. Sorry, I said earlier, my ADHD is ADHD-ing today. So, all right. We have Cancer and Mercury. I don't know if you can see that. Okay. So if you have Mercury in Cancer, the sign of Cancer, amazing. There's some amazing stuff coming in, but I'm seeing this being, especially with all this self-love we've kind of been talking about here and there throughout this live stream today, especially with Hey, aka Marlene's question or reading, speaking, and thinking, Mercury is the intellect. It's our communication, our expression, our mind. I know Moon is also mind, but Mercury is more the intellect or the knowledge that we've attained. So the sign of Cancer is more nurturing, more loving, more giving, but not in that self-sacrificial way of giving. This is about filling your own cup first, communicating your own needs to yourself first, and then being able to, pour from that overflow. That's really what's coming through with this Mercury in Cancer. And some of you, that can be just, hey, journal out your thoughts, your feelings, or feel into your feelings. And especially if you're someone like me that will try to intellectualize or pick apart and, with a magnifying glass, like, why do I feel this way? Instead of just allowing yourself to feel however you feel, like you don't have to put a little hat on, a little bow tie, tell it a little story, bedtime story. You don't have to do all that most of the time. Unless you feel so inclined, then go for it. But most of the time, just feeling the feelings and allowing them to flow through you and pass away or, float on by like a cloud is really all that's necessary. But we've been told to like over analyze everything. Or we're just kind of programmed almost to just be in our heads about our feelings rather than just drop into your emotions, drop into your feelings, drop into your body. Feel where you feel these emotions in your body and allow yourself to express them healthfully, and in a way that you can feel safe. Whether that is journaling, crying into a pillow, going out in nature and screaming at the top of your lungs, whatever that looks like for you specifically. All right, now let's get into Versha's question. Oh, my birthday was good. Yeah, my birthday was on Monday, and I did the whole 10 hours of power thing. If you guys are wondering, what is she talking about, this 10 hours of power? If you go on YouTube and look up shamanic self and 10 hours of power, she tells you how to calculate it. It's easier than me trying to give you the long-winded roundabout version when she just goes right in. But it's basically... So your solar return, it's not going to be, sometimes it can even be the day before your birthday or the day after. Usually it's within a few days or even on the day of your actual birthday. You can calculate it. You just go to where it is that you're going to be, like the location you're going to be on your birthday. Well, first you put your actual birth information on. And this is on, I think it's astro.com, but go to Shamanic Self 10 hours of power video here if you want to calculate it for your next, especially if you have a solar return coming up. It's good to have this 10 hours of power where no one's asking you to do things. You're not on your screen or electronics. I actually got to spend, which is the best case scenario, most of my 10 hours of power asleep. Of course, before I fell asleep, I really protected my energy field so outside astral entities couldn't interfere with my 10 hours of power. So, cover your bases there. And I stayed home. Mine was from 12:17 a.m. through 10:17 a.m. So after I had already fallen asleep. And so my husband even took the kids to school and everything. So I didn't even have to look at anyone, talk to anyone or anything. And I turned my alarm off. I could only sleep until about 7:49 because I'm just wired to wake up too early. But I just allowed myself to lay in bed and just almost meditate for about an hour and just kind of doze in and out a little bit. And then I got up for the day and, just did a big solar return reading for myself, both personal and career. I did some journaling. I did some meditation. I just took it easy, made some comfort foods, just fun things. Did some plant chores, spent some time with my little plants. This was one of my birthday gifts to myself. This is a Etsy purchase from, I think his name is David. I have my email up. Maybe I can find it. David somebody. Oh gosh, Morales or something. Let me see. Etsy, where are you? Where are you? I think this is it. For anyone who's like a plant mom, plant hoarder like I am. I love this. David Morales Plants. It's all one word, but David Morales Plants on Etsy. And he's got a YouTube channel where he just takes you through his like plant collection or takes you shopping for plants and just looking at all the fun plants. I love it. So beautiful. But yes, 10 hours of power. You put all your information in and it will give you the 5 hours before and the 5 hours after your exact to the second solar return for whatever year you type in. We're in year 2025. Use that as the example. So 5 hours after 12:17, 5 hours before 10:17 was 5:17 a.m. for me. That was my like moment of exact solar return for 2025. So fun. I heard on a podcast that is why making a wish with a coin that you throw into water doesn't come true, because most people wish with their intellect and not being in their soul essence. Absolutely. And something that I've also stopped doing, not that I've personally done this in years, but for my kids or whatever, is blowing out birthday candles. We don't want to blow out the light on our birthday like that. Like even like when you do like candle magic and stuff, you don't want to blow out, like if you're working, like this is a friendship candle for instance. So fun. You don't want to blow out the intention that you just set or the spell that you're trying to, manifest, right? You don't want to blow that out. So you can get something called like a candle snuffer, or, you can just simply put the lid back on it while it's burning and kind of let it go out that way. That way your life force energy, your breath, which is your life force, your prana, isn't blowing it away from you or, extinguishing it. We got to think, like, why do we do the things we do? Even if it just seems so innocent and we do it at little kid birthday parties, like, why? Why do we do this? I don't know. The whole candle thing, I mean, I love candles, don't get me wrong, but blowing out candles never made sense to me for wishes. Very interesting. I mean, though blowing your life force prana energy on, say, like a puffy dandelion, that does make sense to me, because you are putting your prana, your life force into it and allowing that to be the wind to carry it away and then take root or, seed somewhere. That does make sense to me, but the other, not so much. Yeah, candle was something we wonder too, because in Hindu tradition, we light up the candle and not blow it out. Yes, absolutely. Yep, matrix inversion all the way. You are so correct on that. All right, friends. Well, let's get into our donations, and then if we have time, maybe we'll just hang out for a bit afterward. So Michelle, let me know that you're here. I know I do have your question here, but just in case. And I've been kind of dropping the ball with keeping up with my timestamps after the fact. So my apologies, especially to Katie R, because it's usually her timestamp. And although she says, don't worry about timestamp, I'll watch the whole thing, I still feel bad because then she has to kind of go searching for her reading. And I would rather just her be able to go right to it if that's what she feels like doing. So Michelle. And we're at 3317. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is your birthday on the 17th, or did I not do? Oh my God. I didn't even do your cards. See, this is me like getting off on a tangent. Okay. We're going to do Versha's reading. So that timestamp, ignore. No, your birthday's in October. I do remember that much, Michelle. I could be wrong about the time. Thank you for the reminder, Versha, because I would have just kept on trucking. So thank you for that. October 3rd. That's right. There was someone else that used to come here back in the day that was October 17th. And then Hesui, Jessie, as she would be called here, was on October 18th. Yes, that's right. Okay, here we go. All right. In alignment with your true spirit, what do you need to know right now? We have communication. Open and honest communication is flowing between you and others. You express your thoughts and feelings clearly. This is so potent and powerful right now. Even if you're just communicating telepathically to plants, animals, people in your life that you just can't get through by speaking actual words, but, communicating with their higher self or spirit that's incarnating within them. If that's something you're resorting to, especially with that specific friend that you've been maybe having a bit of issues with, is coming to kind of to the forefront here, that, if you can't feel like you can actually speak your truth in the 3D reality, this is about being able to maybe have that heart-to-heart communication with her more in spirit and send her whatever love or well wishes or whatever you want to. But what else? What else does Versha need to know in tandem with this communication? Oh, we have the sun. Well, the most glaringly obvious part of this is your daughter, being your child, the children card, the happiness card, happy, joyful communication. Even when we don't feel like joyfully communicating to our children, it's important sometimes to, even if exasperated, even if frustrated, maybe to hold our tongue and, try to say things better. I mean, this is something I've, especially since I've been really trying to step more in a very masculine way to go about it, where I could do something differently. So maybe there's a way you're shifting potentially your communication with your very amazing child or your own inner child. But also I'm seeing this as when you communicate your thoughts and feelings and your needs, let's not forget needs as well. When you communicate them clearly, you see a much brighter outcome, which feels like, well, duh, Amanda, that's how it works. Not always, but hopefully in this scenario, you're communicating your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, your needs to people, and they are receiving that. All right, Versha, that was your reading. Very cool. Amber, let's get Amber A real quick since we're wrapping up here. All right, last one we're gonna do. You got in right under the wire. Okay, Amber A, and it's a 2-card pull, so here we go. Amber A, what does she need to know right now? 2 of Pentacles. There's some juggling energy here, trying to maintain some balance. Let's get additional guidance here for Amber A. Additional guidance, and we have here boundaries. Kind of going from, trying to maintain that balance. Like, where is the line? Where do I draw the line? Where is the boundary here? So it says, you have set clear boundaries in your relationships, protecting your emotional space and fostering healthy interactions. So even if you don't feel you've successfully done that, maybe with certain people, I do see that balancing out in time. And I'm seeing about a 3-week window of time for especially one person in your life that you've kind of just pulled away from energetically. Not that there's anything really wrong in the connection, but maybe there's just this overwhelm, or you're feeling like they're putting too much on you and you need to pull back so you can take care of yourself first, and then anything additional to that. And this is very much in alignment, Amber A, with the kind of mini collective reading we did. I want to say it was after Marlene's reading, but before Versha's reading. I think that's the order we did it in. So it was kind of leading up. So it was about the 15-minute mark if you're going to watch this on the replay, or if you just kind of want to scrub back. I did a free mini collective reading. This feels very much in alignment with what we were talking about with that. So feel free to check that out for free if you want to claim any of that. I know I'm trying to connect with animals and some people as well with energy. Well, keep practicing, because this feels like a gift that you're bringing forward. So do it. Yeah. All right. Now, Michelle, we psyched you out once. Let's get into your reading now. 3809. Okay. Whether we need the timestamp or not, I'll just write it down. Okay. You're so welcome, Amber A. Anytime. Always a pleasure. Okay, where did this one go? Right here. We'll just put it here, and we'll put it here for now. But let's get into this for Michelle. And let me pull up her question, and we'll double check. Yeah, so Michelle, and then we have a 1-card pull, which is never 1 card. You guys know me. For Marlene or Hey. Okay, so let's get into it for Michelle. Her question is as follows. So, hi, Amanda. My question is about last night. I joined a group Zoom psychic reading with someone I've gotten a reading from before. I asked about my career, and she basically said if I was to leave my job, that the grass isn't always greener, that I would still have problems elsewhere. Oh, no. And asked me, why do I want to leave my current job? She also knew that I work with someone that is toxic and I don't like, a manager. I'm getting chills down my left leg right now. Very feminine energy. There's some sort of upgrade, or yeah, there's something coming in for you, but we'll tune into that. I just thought I'd mention it while we're reading the question. Just reading the question. So will I enjoy the job more if she left? She just left me hanging with more questions. What hurt the most is she says she doesn't see any changes for me this year. Oh my gosh. She also mentioned that my job isn't stopping me from meeting anyone in love, and that she doesn't know why I haven't met him yet. Oh man, that's like very judgy, blamey energy. I'm so sorry you're dealing with that. She offered no advice or clarity, and I felt she gave me less time than others. Basically, I broke down crying, oh, and I had to leave the Zoom. I felt worse after my reading and hopeless, and I've been wanting to leave my job for my, and then it cuts off, mental health. Yeah, I totally get the energy that you're putting in here. I'm so sorry you're dealing with that, Michelle. That is not cool. Not cool. So let me just say, Michelle, if this were, say I was the psychic reader, I don't like calling myself that, but just for the sake of this example, if that were me and I had that Zoom meeting and someone came away from that feeling worse rather than better, I personally would love or hope that they would reach out to me through email or some other means to let me know what I did. Like I don't know if this reader, I don't know that this reader, I'm getting a bit of ego coming in from her that she may not be open to that. But if it just letting all of you know, if you're ever unhappy with a reading with me, please let me know so we can make this right. I don't get the vibe that she would willingly be like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Like she'd be more like, well, I guess if you weren't, like, that's the energy that's coming forward, is more domineering. Like, well, I guess if you don't like it, I will give you your money back. But it's not from a place of, oh my gosh, I did not want to, devalue you in any way or make you feel bad. But I would share your feelings with her if you can. And just, even if she wants to make it right by, further tuning into the energy and extending the reading a little longer or something, because yeah, I can definitely feel the unbalance. Very Two of Pentacles energy here, very unbalanced. And I'm getting like Five of Swords energy coming out too. I am not getting the same vibe when I tune into your energy field as far as potentials for future. I mean, yes, because this happened, you could believe this and go down that timeline. But that does not look like the most likely outcome for you that I'm picking up, that I'm sensing in any way. So let's kind of break this down. I kind of want to hold your hand and take you through this. Like, let's get to the bottom of this, especially with what you asked about your career and her saying that if you left the job that the grass would not be greener, that you would still have problems somewhere else. Let's just tune into that first, and let's just see the most likely timeline for you in a new job, energy-wise. Okay. It's definitely going to be healing. So look at this. 2 6s. There's more balance. There's more nurturing. There's more give and take. Not such a toxic work environment, literally and more figuratively speaking, as far as like, I know you were having like mold issues and stuff at the work, and the toxic, I almost said roommate, but coworker is the word I'm looking for. And I just heard she moved into your head rent-free. That's why roommate. Okay. I'm like, why? What, roommate? We're not even talking about like roommates. We're talking about coworkers. I felt getting a reading from her was a mistake. Aw. Well, that's the thing is, if you ask for the refund, she either give it or not. And then I guess lesson learned, you don't have to go back to her. But I am seeing if you moving on will give you, correct me if I'm wrong, didn't we have this in the collective? Or was this in your, I know we got this for someone today. The recognition you feel you deserve. Was this in your 1 card pull? Well, 2 card, 3 card, however many cards we pulled. Personal reading. Okay. So you moving on from the current job. This is a card of distancing yourself, moving. It's also my internet card. So maybe you're finding out about this new job online somewhere. It's going to lead you to that recognition and fulfillment, especially because this comes after the 5 of Wands, which is about like duking it out, trying to like every man for himself. Let's get to the top. The more productive way you could take the 5 of Wands is like, let's brainstorm. Let's come to a conclusion that everybody's going to enjoy. I'm not getting that vibe from your current work situation, but what I am getting is that is actually actively working to push you out of this current timeline of you continuing down the road of your current job. What's going on is actually a gift right now. If we can kind of reframe it like, why is this happening to me? This sucks. I hate being here. All valid, all absolutely true, Michelle. But if you can reframe this as, okay, this is the thorn in my side right now. I'm going to see it as a gift to push me, or, almost act as that bow pulling back. I always forget the name of the thing pulling back. I am not Merida. I may look like it a little bit, but I am not her. She would probably know the actual terminology from Brave. Merida from Brave. But this is at catapult. Okay, there we go. Maybe. I think that's what it's called. I don't know. Okay, pulling that back to then release that arrow. And the reason the arrow hasn't been released yet is because you don't have your eye on some prize yet. But once a job comes on your radar and you have like I'm seeing the Target logo, the center bullseye, you have that in your sights as something to focus on and daydream about and think of that you're going to be like, I can picture myself in this job. Even if you can't picture like what that looks like day in, day out and like all the daily activities, if you can just more so, Michelle, tune into the energy of feeling how would I feel to be able to leave this toxic job and go to one that, yes, I might be a little bit nervous, a little bit timid or intimidated, maybe, but it's exciting as well because it's new, it's fresh. There's the people seem really nice. Like, what could this be for my future? Just feeling into those emotions can absolutely let you know where am I pointing this damn thing? Where am I pointing it? Because I know where I'm at. I don't want to be here anymore. And that's not you trying to bypass or run away from your problems. No, these are happening to get you kind of that. I'm seeing the movie Failure to Launch because there have actually been, I'm seeing 4 over the last probably 5 years or so. There have been 4 different timelines or points where you were supposed to, not that you did anything wrong. Let's just put that out there, Michelle. You did nothing wrong here. I'm seeing some element of like destiny swapping or someone hooking into your energy to hijack what was meant for you to take it for themselves. So if you know anyone in your personal life that's just been like on the up and up and up and up with their job, but you feel somehow intuitively like they didn't earn it, or like how does all this good stuff fall into their lap? And even if you don't know of someone like that off the top of your head, this really actually feels like somewhere that you've gone online in the past. It's a social media platform where it was more of just an overall energy harvest of your energy that kind of took the wind out of your sails. And this was around the time you first injured your back. That was the first time this happened. That it wasn't one specific person in your life or someone jealous or catty or anything like that. This was something online that totally took the wind out of your sails, energetically speaking, to where you were supposed to be on this whole new trajectory with your love life, with your career, that it all just got sucked right out of you. And you're just in this hamster wheel, the same old, same old, same old, through no fault of your own. Let's make that blatantly obvious and blatantly clear. You would not have other problems, grass being greener on the other side. No, I don't see those same problems at your current job following you. Not that they would exactly, but certain things can manifest. I don't see that happening though. So one thing you could be, it absolutely is something on YouTube. That's right when I said, could this social media? I heard YouTube, then I saw YouTube. I have chills too. So it's a creator specifically, and it's not that the creator themselves was looking to harvest people's energy. It feels very spiritual. Tarot related, not me. Thank God, not me. Someone else, tarot related channel. And I'm getting the vibe though that you don't even watch this channel anymore, or you kind of just weren't resonating with it and already unsubscribed. So it's not like it's actively participating in your life. And the reader themselves was not someone purposely doing this. It was entities that they channel working through them to basically use this as a cash grab of energy to harvest the viewer's energy. And this is actually a lot more prevalent out there. I would say 90+% of the readers, the healers, maybe 93%, that's the number coming up, through no intention of their own, but the fact that they are channeling and talking to all these entities and guides that they think are benevolent, like I used to do. I had no intention to hurt anybody. And in fact, I would set intentions to only allow pure and, pure source and all this. But because I wasn't vetting the spirit team that, because I just assumed when I had that big awakening that, oh, they're here for my benefit. Like I never asked them their intentions. I just assumed until I didn't anymore. And then I called my power back and I saw their true light, especially that Archangel Michael I was working with. And oh my God, the veil had to come down. After that video, I'm not sure which tarot reader, but I do remember watching a Scary Sam and Colby video before my injury and thought the back of my mind, could that have, okay, Michelle, I have chills. if your intuition is like circling around that specific video or event, please take that as your sign that this was the most likely major benefactor of your energy, but there were potentially like smaller channels or tarot related content that could have, because I don't know who Sam and Colby are, but YouTubers. And yeah, it was like a collected effort. It wasn't, but that got the like most amount of that energy. So what you can do, Michelle, now that we've uncovered this, advice coming through from spirit, young YouTubers that go to scary places. Okay. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So what you can do, you don't even have to go back and watch that video or remember all the details. Unless you do, that's fine. That's fine. But you can specifically target that video, those creators, and say any power, abilities, gifts, energy that has been siphoned or impacted in any negative way or taken from me in any way needs to be returned to me, cleansed and restored tenfold, or whatever amount fold you want, because you're collecting interest on this. Absolutely. So call that back, cleansed and restored, and bring it back. Yeah, because that is yours and it was taken from you. And that's how, and again, not saying Sam and Colby themselves had this negative, like, no, most likely not. It's just the entities working through them or the line of work that they're in, and they're not properly doing all their spiritual hygiene and due diligence. And then, of course, we as the viewers that also don't do our due diligence can pay for it. I've been attacked through even like tarot channels and stuff in the past that I could feel their intention was love, but it was the entities they were working with, unknowingly or knowingly. I don't think they knew that they were bad, but so we all have to, and it's not just spiritual channels and spiritual people. It's pretty much every single horror movie out there. And I know back in the day it was fun to watch horror movies, but since probably my early 20s, like I can't stomach that stuff anymore. It just feels wrong for some reason. And this is someone who as a 6-year-old watched like Nightmare on Elm Street and Friday the 13th and all of these Children of the Corn. Still traumatized from that one, by the way, because it felt more real than like the Freddy Kruegers and the Jason Voorhees. Like they all felt like hilarious. Like the guy riding around on his motorcycle gets his head chopped off. Oh my God, that's so funny. But like as a 6, 7, 8, 9, 10-year-old kid, that's funny because it looks so fake and cheesy. But like if I were as those ages of kid were to actually sit down, like what if that happened to someone in real life? Like that is creepy and gross AF. Like, but kids can't fathom the depth of like what actually just happened, even though it was fake. Like there are entities, and not just with movies, also with music. They will take the they used to have these big reels, or I forgot what they're called, but the master, it was called the master, when they would record them in studios. Pretty much any and every rock and other like John Denver, even like all of these, the master take of the album was then taken to have a ritual done with the SATAN rituals over the music, that every time someone listens to this music, either backwards or forwards, I know the whole satanic panic back in I think it was the 80s, there was something to that. I know they took it a very like whatever way, but what you can do is you can cleanse or set any intention, that any negative intentions that come through music, because we've heard it all. I mean, we hear music when we're in the store, when we're in an elevator, when we're watching an ad on YouTube. Like you can't escape it, so you might as well just not allow it to get to you anymore. And then that way you can still enjoy your music without all that negative intention. So you're not wrong. You didn't do anything wrong. This is not your fault. And this is not just about your job. This is also about finding love. That same thing harnessed or harvested those potential timelines where you did find love. And it's not to say you won't still find your person. You absolutely will. It's just been delayed. So there's that, oh gosh. So there's the destiny swapping, and then there's I can't remember what it's called. The spirit of delay or energy of delay. I'm sure there are YouTube videos about it, about how your destiny maybe not fully stolen because they can't take that much power from you, but they can definitely try to delay it by, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 10 years, maybe. Yeah. And there's also things called like beauty swaps and it's crazy out here right now. So Michelle, I'm so sorry all of that happened to you, but just know that it's not your fault. It's not your fault. Like point blank, not your fault that, you should have manifested that man by now. You should have, grass is not greener in this other job. No, none of this is your actual fault. Let's just see if there's anything else we need to read into here before we go from your reading. I want to take a little extra time and care because this was not right what happened to you. And I'm so sorry. Yeah, she also knew that I work with someone toxic. Yeah. And I'd feel better if they left, but she didn't give me anything else. Like, will she leave? And I do get this sense that she will leave. It's like she's going to a different job. I can totally sense that this person will leave. It's feeling maybe July, August is kind of the timeline. And if I told you a different time before that, I don't remember if we've tuned into this before. Yeah, because she's apathetic. She's getting really bored with this job, this manager, this toxicity that's there. She's getting bored. She's looking for more drama, more fun, something different, which I do see her finding in the summer for sure. Sometime in the summer. Moving on. That's the time frame coming to mind right now. Let's see. So yes, she's definitely going to be leaving. And I do see changes for you this year, especially if you call back your power, not just from that video, but you can also set an intention for any and everything, be it music, content, movies, people in your life, just the matrix itself, the internet overlords. I don't know. Just one big fell swoop of recalling your energy back. Do you see me leaving this fall or anytime soon? Okay. So I see you calling your energy back, your power back will greatly improve your chances. Absolutely. Because I see, even if you don't do that, you're going to be able to leave. And it feels like September, October at the latest, even if you did nothing moving forward. But if you were like, get me out of here yesterday, let me call my power back, let me do what I need to do, and just feel into any feelings that come up for you, allow yourself to feel them. If they're anger, sadness, rage, any kind of bittersweet emotion, or even positive. I mean, who knows? Maybe positive emotions will arise. Probably not, but if they do, feel them. Allow yourself to feel whatever's coming up, especially like rage. I mean, if I knew actively something or someone stole my destiny, which it's happened multiple times for me too, I'm not immune to this. It's happened to me too. The feeling of rage and anger just comes right up. You allow yourself to feel it, scream into a pillow, go out in nature and scream from the rooftops of the mountaintops or whatever. Feel it. Allow yourself to feel it. If it's sadness, if it's tears, if it's hard to feel anything, just sit with that too. Like, whatever comes up for you, to feel this and just to allow it to move forward. So as far as love, I know why you haven't met him yet. It's because of this whole shebang that kicked off. Walking away from these, this destiny swap, calling that energy back, that will allow this. Because what I'm seeing, actually, Michelle, is that around the same time that this whole destiny was swapped with you, or, your energy was siphoned, however we want to look at this, the guy that you're supposed to be with got into a toxic, not good for him relationship at the same time. And it was almost acting as an energetic placeholder so that when things align up, he wasn't going to find someone who was, better than this toxic person for now, that he would have maybe eventually married, had kids with. He had to get somehow with his toxic placeholder to allow you and him to eventually be together. Again, not your fault, not his fault. Outside circumstances were at play. But I do feel there was a bit of divine intervention as far as him kind of having to be with someone toxic in the interim so that he could really appreciate you and you be able to appreciate him because of now this, this long time that you've been single and whatnot. Yeah, she doesn't know why. Okay, we read that. Offered no advice or clarity, and I felt she gave you less time. So let's just see if there's anything else Michelle needs to know, and then we'll wrap this up. I know it's been a lot longer, but I want to make sure we're taking solid care of you, my dear. Okay, anything else for Michelle? Wisdom, guidance, advice, moving forward. Okay, these two both want to come out. Okay. Aw. Oh, this makes me almost want to cry. I'm so happy. Love is definitely going to find you. It's in a very exciting, like unexpected kind of way. And your destiny is not stolen forever. Like your happily ever after is still in the works and it's still attainable. It's still there. It's still your most ultimate timeline. It just has maybe taken you this kind of circumventing around the globe, roundabout way to get there, but you're getting there still. Even if at this moment you just decided, no, I don't feel like cleansing, clearing, no, it's still going to happen. But you can speed this timeline up by, doing your spiritual due diligence, hygiene, cleansing, clearing, calling your power back, anything that resonates for you or feels intuitive to, feel or do about the situation. Just follow through with that and you can help speed this timeline up. Yeah, there's that 5 of Swords energy I was getting earlier. With that energy but that's on its way out. Yeah. Let me just catch up on comments and we're gonna get into Marlene's question. Carrie talks about Carrie talks about, what do you think that the entities will come to you as gray dark beings? No, they will be all glittery and flowery and shiny. Absolutely. Because if that Archangel Michael, if that's who he really was or just pretending to be, I can't, when I do tune into like the energy of like a pure, benevolent, connected to source Archangel Michael, it's crickets. It doesn't exist. So maybe someone else has a different opinion. I haven't seen it. But when I tune in the Archangel Michael that I was connecting with, when the veils came down, boy, if that thing approached me during that Kundalini awakening, I would have been terrified AF. I would have ran the other way. I mean, I was like weirdly paralyzed during that whole thing. That should have been clue number 1. Like, this is not normal. What's going on right now? But it just presented itself to me as like, I'm here to help, and like love bomb me like crazy. Like the amount of love I felt was almost like too saccharine, a little too sweet, to be real, because they have to go over the top. Too bright, too shiny, too sweet. It didn't, if I really go back to the feelings I felt in that, it didn't feel authentic, but I was kind of scared and trying not to be scared. And then like, oh no, this is something good. And just trying to trust without like vetting out this. If this same scenario happened today, boy, I'd have had like 4 different like fail safes in place before this thing ever even got into my energy field. But that's where I was, 9 years ago, back in 2016 when this happened. It's like, yeah, that's so true. Yeah, YouTubers, the audience are many young kids, and my daughters used to watch them when they were smaller. Not much into genuine spiritual work. It's more for views and entertainment. Yeah, and usually when you go do something like Zach Baggins, I think is his last name, from Ghost Hunters on, I think it was on the Travel Channel or one of those, investigation discoveries or one of those channels, History Channel. I don't know what channel, but Ghost Detectives, I think it was called. Ghost Hunters. One of those. I used to watch that show religiously myself. Like, I loved it. And I loved, because I liked Zach and Aaron and Nick, but then Nick left and did his own thing. And I still don't know what happened with that. But when he'd have like the demonic things going on and have the like big 3 scratches down his back, I'm like, this is scary. This is dark. And I had to stop watching all that stuff. But it feels to me too, like some of that may, like when I would tune into some of the things they were doing, I'm like, this is fake. This is all for views or, for the show. Nothing really happened there. But then other times I could sense, like just watching their footage, I'm like, something is there. Absolutely something is there. And it's not good. And it's scary. And it's probably hooking into my energy right now. But it's like par for the course. Us just being here, consuming the content that's available, walking amongst some of these people that are out here, like we're gonna get damaged, we're gonna get hurt, we're gonna get siphoned off. So it's just gangster's paradise out here. It really is. So it's not like any of us have done anything wrong because, I got hooked in because of, I wanted to see, like the curiosity got me, as I say, curiosity killed the cat, but like really? A cat has 9 lives. We are unlimited beings. So, I mean, cats also are unlimited beings, but as the saying goes, cat has 9 lives. So none of you did anything wrong, and knowledge is power. When you know better, you do better. All the cliche things I could say here. So hopefully this brought you, all of you, not just Michelle, because I'm talking to all of us at this point, a little bit of clarity, a little bit of like, okay, it's maybe not as bad as I thought. and hopefully Michelle specifically, that you hopefully feel a little better now because you didn't do anything wrong. And I'm not saying this was a bad, psychic or whatever she's labeling herself as. I'm not saying that, but the energy she came to your reading in it was very much in ego. It wasn't in how can I literally serve you from my heart today. And that's where I try to be, even my ADHD's ADHDing, like I still drop into my heart space and try to give to you guys from that authentic place. So hopefully you can feel that when you come here. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, the more I connect with myself, the less I want to tap into other people's energy and do healing services, cards, etc. at that moment, at least. Yeah, absolutely. And there are times like I do a big, like, let me tune into who I am as a spirit. And I'm like, I don't know. I just want to be with myself and never work a day in my life again. But then there are times I'm like, I feel this like heart nudge to like help people. So that's why I do what I do, is mostly first and foremost to help people or to give clarity. Cause like there's nothing harder than feeling just so lost and confused. Like been there so many times myself. And like if I can give one person just a little smidge of light at the end of the tunnel, then I feel at the end of the day I've done my job, I guess. But I totally get it. I totally get it, Versha. Absolutely. Marlene's mom is into scary, dark movies, but I always had to leave the room growing up. I just don't like the vibes. Yeah. And the vibes were totally vibing back then, but I was just trying to make it funny. I'm like, ooh, I like scary movies because to me, they're like comedy. They're funny. I'm not like other girls. No, I was still being traumatized without realizing it until I did realize it. And I'm like, ooh, no, this doesn't feel good. And I can't remember what movie it was. It was before I had kids. So definitely pre-2011. But I would still, even after having kids, until at least, I would say Wrigley. I mean, it was definitely before my awakening, but not too far out from that. So 2015, 2016, earlier in the year, I was still watching like Ghost Adventures, and it was definitely, and I loved The Walking Dead, that show. And it was like days after my awakening, they had this like season 6 first episode, like coming back for a new season, and it was the Lucille, Negan, everybody lined up. If you know, I'm not gonna traumatize those who don't know because you don't need to know. That was the very last episode of that show I watched, and I watched even leading up to every season, not in 2016, but every year before that when it came out. I want to say it was in 2011, 2010, 2011, the first year. I think it was 2010. Yeah. I would religiously, again, like bowing down to the cult of content, watch from season 1 all the way through. I mean, it's only 6 episodes, I think, season 1. And then when season 2 came out, I watched all of season 1 again to watch then season 2 as it came out on my DVR, because I would refuse to watch commercials. So I'd record it the night before and watch it the next day. And every season, except that season, because I was going through that whole throes of Kundalini awakening, so I didn't have time. I was too much like doing all the spiritual things. But every other season, I would watch all the previous seasons leading up to the new season and then watch it from there. So I didn't forget all the little details and Easter eggs every time. But after that, I haven't watched an episode since. Not a rewatch, not anything new. I could probably handle myself now with it, knowing what I do, but it doesn't even feel like I need to go there. It doesn't feel like, to me, entertainment. I need to entertain, so to speak, anymore, ever again. So that's where I've been, at least for the last 9 years with that show. Is it still on, or did it have a series finale? I don't even know. And I like followed all their social medias and was like, oh, it would be so cool to be an extra on that show. Like, I loved that show. I don't know, loved is a weird word. Like, I felt a lot of empathy for the characters, and like, probably besides The Office, which, that's more of a feel-good show, but there's stuff in that too that you really do need to protect yourself from, actually. Matrixy things, nothing too extreme like maybe The Walking Dead or other horror stuff, but it's still there more subtly. But I don't even feel like the need to do my Office rewatch anytime soon. I watched it, I think, again early 2024. Yeah, it was last year. But the last show I watched was Outlander. Oh, and Alone. That like a reality show where you get like 10 items and you have to be like out in the wilderness, like usually up in the Arctic, kind of in the fall going into wintertime, and you got to like survive. I like those kind of shows. So I did watch that last May and June, I do believe. But that's the last TV show I've watched. So, yeah. I try to stay away from it. And then everyone's like, "Oh, you need to see this movie, this movie, this movie." I'm like, "I probably should." Like, I want to see Avatar. I want to see some of these others that Versha has talked about and some of you guys have talked about. I just haven't felt the call to like, let's have a movie night. And of course, a lot of this stuff I probably wouldn't let my kids watch. They're not big movie or TV show kids themselves either. So that's good. Like, they've never watched live TV unless you count like something going on out at my in-laws where they've always got like the news on or sports on. Like, they'll watch that. But I don't say they're like actively watching it, but it's on. But like, since my kids were little, they've never watched live TV or just had TV on for them to just be consuming constantly. I just didn't want that. So we didn't ever have that. And now I see it's a good thing. Because I grew up with the TV never turning off. Like, it just was on morning, noon, and night. It would maybe get turned off once every 7 months if the power went out or something. Like, it just stayed on. And I had a hard time when I first met my husband falling asleep with no music, no TV on in the background. Now I do like a fan on, but like if he's watching like a comedy special or something and I'm trying to sleep, I can't fall asleep now. So I've done a flip 180. But I think that is because, even when you're sleeping, you're subconsciously picking up everything you're hearing with your consciousness or subconsciousness. Last 3 years, if I have watched any crime documentary or horror shows, the entities stuck fractals of people have come into my home out of the TV while watching. I believe it. I've seen that happen. Absolutely. And it is scary AF when it happens. That happened with the whole Night Stalker Netflix special or Netflix documentary about Ramirez. What's his first name? Oh gosh. Whatever the guy's name is. It starts with an R. I think it's RR. Richard Ramirez. I was watching that and then I'd been done watching it for the night and I went to take my dogs out and I could sense the energy of something that was parading around as Richard Ramirez's energy on my porch. And then like middle of the day, a few days after that, I could sense it like over by my front door. Like, I was so terrified. I took my dogs out back middle of the day. My kids were at school and preschool at the time. Took my kids out, my dogs out back, and I stayed out there for like over an hour. And I'd talked about this before, like a couple years ago, probably at this point, but I was absolutely terrified. I couldn't even go back in my house because I could sense it was still in there. And then when I sensed that energy kind of waning, it didn't follow me out back for some reason. Good thing, because I'd have been like, where do I go now? Well, I don't know what to do. But yeah, that was back in like 2017, 2018, 2019, maybe. Definitely way before 2020. I don't remember when and I didn't watch it when it first came out, but like within a month or so of it coming out. So I don't even remember when that was. It was in the 20 teens somewhere. But yeah, let's get into, let's catch up on comments and get into Marlene's question, because I don't need to keep you guys all day just chit-chatting, even though it's fun. Like, I could just do this all day, all the time. We're all friends here, just hanging out, having spiritual chats. You can't like go up to other baseball moms and start like, that time that entity like walked through my TV into my living room. Like, usually you don't have these kind of conversations just out in the world, out in the wild. All right, I just totally skipped my chat. I did the declaration and oh my god, I felt very light. Oh, good. I now reclaim my destiny and divine power across all dimensions, all timelines, all realms, all realities, all lifetimes, and all universes. I love that. I call back every fragment, essence, gift, and code of my being that was ever taken, lost, hidden, manipulated, or given away knowingly or unknowingly. Ooh, that's powerful. Thank you. And hopefully this summer will feel lighter for me. Yeah. And not to say you can't leave until the fall, because I see when you call your power back, you can make these timelines speed up like astronomically, Michelle. So yeah, spiritual bath. That's my go-to. Like, I do all my spiritual fun stuff in the bath, just meditating, candles, bath salts, not the drug kinds. I don't even know how one would take those kind, but like legit like sea salt or Epsom salt and herbs and all the things. And you can even Google how to make a shaman bath. That's a really powerful, potent way. Adding baking soda and any herbs or flowers or essential oils, like you can go all out. And salts, of course. Salts are very cleansing. In and out of the bath. Yeah, I command full restoration and realignment of my original organic crystalline blueprint, designed by source, untouchable by distortion. Ooh, powerful. By the authority of my I am presence, and with the sovereignty of my eternal soul, now transmute and dissolve all contracts, implants, programs, bindings, and distortions that are not in alignment with my highest truth. I stand now in full divine remembrance, whole sovereignty, and free. So it is, and so it is done. Ooh, that's powerful. Love it. Yeah. Aw, you are so welcome, Michelle. Anytime. I know that feeling. That's why I created a sovereignty reclamation for Michelle. Oh, that's so sweet. Yeah, addiction to TV is a thing in my family. Yeah, and I think it was more just to have like that peace of mind or feeling of comfort, like someone else is here. That like even when I moved into this house, like I just have the TV on in the background if I'm cooking, cleaning. Well, of course, if I left like back in the day before I had kids, when I had a job outside of the home, I'd turn the TV off, go to work, come home. First thing I do is say hi to my dogs, and then I turn the TV on before I did anything. Like, but I stopped doing that. I would say around 2015. I'd still watch it quite a bit back in the day, but I didn't have to have it on all the time. Well, especially when my kids were little, like I turned it off because I wanted to just focus on them. A lot of the time it'd be turned off unless I wanted to watch a specific show, and I'd go to my DVR, fast forward through the commercials, you know the drill. Yeah. All she wants to have a family movie night every Friday and Saturday. See, I think once in a while, that's cool. That's fun. Nothing wrong with that. We still have to experience what this realm has to offer, absolutely. All right, Marlene says, any advice for my spiritual growth wanting to come through? All right, let's tune into Marlene's energy, true spirit. Any advice for Marlene's spiritual growth wanting to come through? Anything at all? All right. Yes, we have 3 things. Ooh, we were just talking about a shaman bath. Look at that. Or just a bath, spiritual bath, cleanse. We've got some candles, low light situation. We've got the sword of truth here. It's the 4 of swords. And yes, the other 3 swords are on the table. So what this is saying is there is some element of grief. This definitely feels like past life energy coming through for you to transmute, alchemize, and use as usable energy in this life for you, Marlene. But any grief that you've suffered or had to deal with in this life as well, if you're feeling like any of that is coming up, like anniversaries of anyone's passing, or just been thinking about someone who's passed or anything like that, you can use that grief or that sadness to bring forward all this past life stuff to be able to purge that. And then we have the sword of truth here, the ace of swords. That's like within hand's reach. So clarity, if there's any kind of confusion you've had. And I do see like the shower head above her. So it's almost like after a spiritual bath, if that's something you want to do, or after you've cleansed yourself, also cleansing in the shower to get any additional stuff off would be beneficial. So that would be something you can do if you feel so inclined or can do that. We have the Hermit card. I'm getting very Hermit vibes even from this 4 of Swords, which is very cool. But the light within is starting to grow. So as far as advice for your spiritual growth coming through, giving yourself time alone. I mean, look at this. And I'm hearing clearing through the minefield of other people's energy. And this doesn't have to be just like toxic as F energy from everybody, but like just your average, family member or people that you come into contact with out in the world, even if they're not like coming at you. This does feel to me like just their energy, their sadness, their anxiety, their stress, it's somehow infiltrating your field, and you having some time alone can help you kind of navigate or weave through just all of the other unnecessary noise or energy that's somehow clinging into your energy field. So it's not saying people are bad or trying to direct negativity at you. I'm not seeing it like that at all. It's just more the toxic soup of this 3D matrix that we all, come into contact with multiple times a day, whether we're in our house, at work, at school, wherever it is we go, baseball games. We're gonna, be infiltrated by it. So just spiritual hygiene. Try a nice shower, very practical. There you go. Yeah. And even if you want to put a few drops of like eucalyptus or any kind of other essential oil that intuitively you're feeling called to do, just put a few drops on maybe the shower wall or somewhere where the water will hit or the floor, to kind of give you the aromatherapy of it all. That's always fun for me. Is I love the aromatherapy. Oh, you got the Carrie Lingo soup. Oh, funny. I love that. It just feels like a soup out there because sometimes it's thick. Other times it's more runny and go with the flow, but sometimes that soup is thick. It's like a toxicity. I don't know. You can almost like cut through it like a meatloaf almost sometimes. But your best advice here is to just know, especially when you're feeling very stressed and anxious, and just asking, is this even mine? And even if the answer is no, it's almost found you somehow, some way. So now it is, technically your responsibility to clear it, alchemize it, let it flow, let it go, whatever that looks like for you specifically. It's not always our fault that we come into, toxic, other people's toxic energy. But at the very least, it's our responsibility to just cleanse it, clear it, let it go. Because that's going to allow you to celebrate life, even more the simple things. Because I'm seeing, a lot of us, especially for you, Marlene, this is coming up for some reason for you. So if it resonates, cool. If it doesn't, you can take this more as an example than anything. A lot of times when, we go to our phone and we want to check our email, but we see, oh, I have a notification from so-and-so. Let me text them back. Oh, let me check out, I think it's so-and-so's birthday. Let me wish him happy birthday on Facebook. Oh, this is going on. And before you know it, an hour's gone by and you're like doom scrolling. You're like, wait, I just needed to check my email. What am I doing? But all those dopamine. And then you're kind of almost feeling depleted after going online just to check your email. And then you realize I didn't even check my email. Didn't even get there. Didn't even get that far because I saw this notification, which took me over here, took me over there. When we can kind of reclaim those dopamine hits by maybe saying, okay, every time I pick up my phone, I have a 1, 2, 3. I can only, if I have that intention, I want to Google this thing. I better darn well go right to Google it, get the information I need, and then get the F out. Sorry, my dogs are barking down there. Sometimes just getting very intentional with not just your phone use, but any other consuming, what we're putting in our mouth, drinking, people we're talking to or communicating with in any way. Like, what are we consuming? And is it benefiting us or is it depleting us in some way? So that's coming through as to just doing some maybe spiritual housekeeping and cleansing and some energetic housekeeping and cleansing with, when do I, take on other people's crap versus when can I vibe with other people and feel uplifted after being in their energy? And of course, when you're a mom, when your kids come home from school in a snotty mood or, they're like just up against you and you don't know why, or, like put your laundry away and then they don't do it. And then you ask them again and they still don't do it. And then you're like, just put your laundry away. It's like, as things are escalating. So if that energy is there at all, I see you being able to cleanse, declutter, kind of purge this energy to where you're feeling more light on your feet, more in the flow, that if something doesn't happen right then, you're finding better ways to be able to ask the questions that you're seeking to get answers for. Yes, that's been happening. Getting things done has been a bit of a struggle. And that has been kind of a collective theme that I've noticed lately is so many of us have the best intentions to like get all this stuff done. Like prime example for me this weekend, I had all these ideas. I wanted to finally get my garden beds cleared out now that we're like high 40s, low 50s in the evenings, that I can get for my birthday, my husband got me 2 foot by 8 foot long new planter like garden beds, because the ones I have out there, I didn't even plant anything in them last year because they are falling over. They're decrepit. My dog Ruthie just treats them like her own personal sauna. She's always in them, and the wood is falling off of them. Like they're gonna go this weekend, hopefully, fingers crossed. But it's almost like, not to say that we can't just be in the flow, like, oh, I'll kind of leave. I want to kind of get these things done, but like, whatever happens today happens. Not to say that's not bad. I mean, it's great. Actually, that's a very feminine way to go about life. But sometimes when we have very specific things we need to do, but then we just keep getting sidetracked or distracted or delayed for whatever reason, we can then start to build up some frustration or like, oh, I need to get this done, or start to get stressed out or anxious. That's more what I'm tuning into for you. And when you're starting to feel that, it's like, well, let me first clear my energy field. And then after that, let me really feel in like what absolutely has to get done today. Is it just these 3 things, or do I really have to do all 10 things I wanted to get done? what are the 3 priorities, or what is the top priority? And if I only get that done today, that's okay. Just being more intentional with your time, your resources, using your tools rather than allowing your tools to use you. Like, we can have happen with our phone from time to time. Our phone can start to use us rather than the other way around. It feels like, anyway. But I see you being able to overcome this. So let's get closing statement, word of advice for Marlene. Anything else for her spiritual level up, spiritual growth? Wow, you're so in tune. You tune in so well to what I'm feeling. It surprises me at times. I love that. Yeah. Again, it's just like, pick your battles. Like, that's what's really coming through here, especially with, mom and wife life and other people just like needing your time. It's like, you need my time, and I can see you're being whiny right now. And you know what? I'm going to give you my time because as your mom, I feel that's what you need. Maybe you're not going about it the best way. You're whiny or you're blaming other people for things, but like, hey, come over here. I'm going to give you a hug. Like, you're going to really be able to intuitively know, like, what do I need to tackle? What battle can I like lay down my sword of truth and not even have to engage in? And then what others do I need to like armor up and get going on? So using your intuition to know what needs done, when it needs done, what attention is actually benefiting you, what's not. So you're kind of like navigating the minefield spiritually and energetically of, what do I need to do? What don't I need to do? Who do I need to mess with? Who do I need to stay away from? Whatever the case may be. So that gift is coming online, especially as you give yourself alone time to process things. And a very easy time for this for most people would be right before you go to sleep, to just kind of mentally review your day, or even feel into the emotions of your heart of, how did I feel today? Was today more of a good day, more of a bad day? What could I have done better? What could other people have done better? Just feeling into your feelings specifically. If you really want to get into your feminine energy, it's more about feeling into your feelings about it rather than trying to intellectualize or compartmentalize. Okay, this happened, that happened, that happened. But like, okay, yes, all these things happen, but like, how did it make you feel? But how does that make you feel? Tune into your inner therapist. That can be a good way to kind of decompress and kind of also get all that mental chatter out of your mind before you go to bed, so that you're not falling asleep with an open mind, like not an open mind, but like a busy mind is what I'm trying to say. So yeah, they are so subtle, but they are there. Absolutely. And that's where your spiritual intuitiveness, that's the word I'm looking for, will help you navigate those more subtle energies. Like, what do I need to deal with now? What can wait? What can just be completely eliminated? And yeah, then you're good to go. I feel it is an extended version of my 2-card pull, how I communicate with Kay, and the gift coming online. There you go. Yeah, if it felt like it resonated for you, Versha, take it. Claim it. Because that doesn't diminish the fact that Marlene also got her message as well. That's the beauty part of it. I love it. All right, you guys. Well, I'm going to double check that we're all caught up with donations. And actually, I'm not just going to trust my email because it's been lying to me like a lion. Okay, I'm going to go over to PayPal and make sure we received, or I have done readings for all the reading donations I have received. That's what I'm trying to say. So stand by. Most likely we're done, but if there is a straggler that I missed somehow, we will pick it up here. And apologies if you donated at the top of the hour and I skipped you. Okay. No, we are fully up to date and everyone has been taken care of. All right. Well, that will do it for me, you guys. I will be back here on Friday. Fingers crossed, no, sidebars of migraines or anything like that. But as far as I can tell, green light go on Friday. And I remembered about 15, 20 minutes before this live stream that, oh yeah, I was going to do a webinar today on basically like an alternative to healing / peeling, whatever. I actually want to grow this a bit because it's something that is so needed right now, but I don't want to just like give it to you guys and not do it justice. And I don't think I'm going to be prepared for Friday. And who knows about next week? Like I'm flying by the seat of my pants just trying to survive 4 different sports, but basketball does end on Friday this week. So we'll be down to 3 sports, but still that only frees me up 1 hour on Friday. I still have all the other stuff going on. But anywho, I wanna maybe do a more I don't wanna forget to do this, so I definitely have it on my kinda, like, roaming to-do list that if I do have to kind of postpone this till June to be able to do it more justice, I might do that, but if I do have, like, a chunk of free time where I can kinda write out my notes and figure out what all I wanna talk about, it might come before that, but I don't wanna drop the ball on it. I do want to present this information to you. It's nothing new, there's nothing new under the sun, but, just maybe a refresher, a reminder. It was something I already knew and was already doing, but it kind of, like, hit me in a deeper level, like, kind of an aha moment or an epiphany that I'm like, "Oh, yeah, well, duh. Duh. Duh." Like, "Oh my gosh, I'm making this way more complicated than it needs to be." So, like, yes, I wanna give you guys that information. I just wanna do it in a way that doesn't feel all over the place, which that's the energy you're getting from me. Unless I'm, like, locked and loaded into your reading, I think I can tune in very well and not just be all over the place like I am when we're just talking and chatting, but, yeah, I wanna get my poop in a group, as they say, my ish together and do this right. So I don't even know what I want to call the webinar, but something like not alternative healing because that's already a thing, but it's maybe a new way, a new perspective on healing that we're not as broken as we think. We really aren't. So yeah, I don't even know what I'll call it, but if for some reason it's like June, July, and I still haven't done it yet, someone call me out and be like, "What about that like healing webinar? I don't know what we're calling it, Amanda. That healing, peeling, alternative webinar you were talking about doing." But I do have it on my notes, so hopefully, fingers crossed, I will get it done. Divine timing. That's all I have to say. It'll be done in divine timing. But I don't want to just rush it and throw spaghetti at a wall and see what sticks. Like I actually want to really feel into it and present it in a way that feels really authentic to me for you guys. All right. So that's that. So if you're wondering why we didn't do that today, that's why. All right, you guys. Well, that's going to do it for me today. Again, we'll be live Friday, 11 a.m. Mountain Time. I want to say yes. I think it is going to be a donation only live stream that Friday, but let me hold my horses and check that that's the case. Sorry, my phlegm problem is still phlegming. It's phlegming. Yeah, that will be 2 weeks from our last donation only live stream. Then we do it every other Friday, so every 2 weeks. So yeah, let's do that. Donation only live stream, so it might be short and sweet. But if you do have a pressing question or something you want to know or feel into, with the help of my intuition and cards and all the fun things, we can feel into that for you on Friday. All right, you guys. Well, thanks again. Peace, love, and I will see you next time. Thanks again so much for all those likes, comments, shares, subscribes, donations, and all the things. And I really, truly do hope to see each and every one of you right back here at Harmony Portal Tarot Live. Peace and see you next time. Bye.